But what is your take on what is going to happen tomorrow in Florida, Doug?
Well, I mean, and this pretty much repeats what you said. We have a two-tier justice system. I mean, 30 years handling top secret documents, trained in the declassification and use of these documents, John, and that they would hang their hat, the opposition, the prosecutors, nailing Donald Trump based off the issue of classified documents that he took with. Being that he was the president of the United States at the time, he has the ultimate and the sole declassification authority. Now there's two tiers to that. The originating sources can declassify. If I create my own document as top secret, I use my own sources, I become the originating source and I can declassify that. And normally, when you declassify, you also put a timestamp on there when it automatically declassifies. Or number two, you have Donald Trump there, who's the president of the United States. And so it's funny, we know Obama and Clinton and, both Bushes, and just go down the line here, previous presidents, they have boxes of classified documents in their glorious grand Taj Mahal presidential libraries. And saw Biden, who, when he was collecting these classified documents, he had no authority to do so. He wasn't an originating source, nor was he the president. And as senator and vice president, apparently there's scores of boxes scattered around the nation, including in Chinatown and Washington, D.C. So there's a problem here, and we see this very interesting but troubling trend here by the Department of Justice here to use itself as a political tool to prosecute and persecute a political enemy of Joe Biden. He is going to be the nominee. He's going to be the guy facing down Biden. And this is very troubling to me. I don't know how you turn back when the nation's legal system becomes a tool of an opposition party.
What are your constituents saying? And I know you're one of those state senators that really stay close to your constituents. You talk to them a lot. You make phone calls. You go to events. What are they saying, Doug?
It's one of the
About
first
this?
topics gone out of their mouth when I see them. I was with a bunch of constituents yesterday, probably about a dozen or so, when we just went out to eat. Then at church, of course. And it's like, they're like, man, what's going on with Trump there? And it just kind of shake their head, like very frustrated. If there's a conversation about it, it goes down, wow, really worried about our country. And that Department of Justice and the FBI have been corrupted to a level that perhaps even exceeded what Hoover did when he corrupted it. And they're scared. I mean, because now this means that if you're opposition to the prevailing forces, they'll come up with some pretense to go after you. We saw the heavy-handed use of law enforcement and Department of Justice going after pro-lifers like Mark Houck when they sent 30 individuals and about, I don't know, 15 cars to his house, heavily armed, waving rifles in his face, and his little homeschool family kids screaming and crying. I mean, we're really worried about our country in my district here and all of Pennsylvania. And so this needs to end. I mean, I'm really looking to Congress to do something. I know you have limited powers, but the Congress, the House, is the place where impeachments happen. You have a majority in Washington, D.C. You promised us that you'd bring impeachments. So, the Democrats, I admire them, John. They dropped 2 impeachments on Donald Trump and the impeachment for complete trash. They have impeachments here that they could levy against leaders in the DOJ and as well as the administration. And they have hard evidence of collusion, corruption, being compromised, quid pro quo, taking money from foreign nations and foreign agents, perhaps influencing American policy. Where are the impeachments? What are we waiting for? Is this more talk? I'll be reminded here when the Russia collusion came up, that first 2 years, it was a Republican House that was enabling that. That was the great Gowdy and others, that we love so much. Maybe not so much, but the Graham as well, Senator Graham, that were pushing that they wanted, integrity in our system and, no one's above the law. Okay, well, where are you guys now?